Hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus here with you today on Wednesday, August 30th. We continue our trip from the road. Today we're in the B-Man Teriyaki and Burger. And a quick video about something I heard today from Phil Hellmuth, a great poker player. Yet, he was talking about money management, which I think certainly applies to trading. In fact, it was interesting, the trading shop that I used to work for, we actually had to log about 100 hours of poker training because of the similarities between investing and trading. And in the podcast that Phil was on, he had some interesting observations. And one of the things he mentioned is that if perhaps you had a poker player, for example, that had a skill level of 90 versus another poker player who had a skill level of 80, yet the guy with the slightly lower skill level had better money management skills. And Phil, who's a world-class poker player, was mentioning how the guy with the lower poker ability yet the higher money management is probably going to lead a little bit more of a peaceful, easier life without some of the volatility and the swings up and down. And I thought especially with this silver situation, it was worth pointing out. Now I say this again from the standpoint of being trained as an equity options trader where you adjust to the situation. Sometimes when the opportunity gives you the chance to hit a single, that's what you do. Yet at the same time, when the situation sets up so that it does call to be more aggressive, you're ready for that as well. Now, of course, there's a difference between trading someone else's money for a trading shop or if you're investing and trading your own money. And then along with that, all of the different scenarios that different people have in their lives. So there's no one size fits all here. But again, just adjusting to the parameters so that your trading and your investing isn't something that necessarily is keeping you up at life or being a source of stress, but adds to your life. So, the whole point of growing your money is so that you can send your kids to college if that's what you want to do, or retire, or go live on an island. The whole point here is to be making a set of decisions that lead to more economic terms, we could call it life utility, or more enjoyment or pleasure, whatever form that takes on for you. Now, certainly in this type of environment where we're in, where the Federal Reserve and central banks around the globe are all printing insane amounts of money, inflating bubbles, crashing bubbles on a somewhat regular basis, it's not always the easiest thing to do. But again, still the fact that you're watching and hearing some alternate perspectives to what you hear in the mainstream, I think you're putting yourself in a position where you're aware of more than the average investor, which is not by any means to say that because you're listening to me you're a genius or that other people don't understand what they're doing. Yet I say more just from the standpoint of looking at myself for the first 10 years of my career, following the Wall Street version and seeing something else. So you have a lot of good information. Do I wish the markets weren't rigged and that it was a freely traded market? Sure. But at least the fact that we know that's not the case, and you begin to plan around it, by all means, again, I think silver, gold, some of the cryptos can be great investments. Yet, if you have enough money to live for the next month in your savings, then perhaps piling all of that into an asset that's going to experience great volatility, your investment and time horizons aren't matched up there. Yet, if you're talking about money that you're saving, and whether that's stacking silver or something else, but doing your investing in a fashion that allows time to work on your side. Again, we've talked before about not using leverage. So, yeah, I think silver and gold are going to go up quite a bit at some point, but I don't want to be stopped out of my trade before that happens. You can hear the excitement here in the B-Man Teriyaki and Burger about that. But in either case, it was a good, again, interesting seeing the similarities between poker and investing. Something that someone who's been very successful at poker mentions that I think directly applies to trading and investing. And sure, it's actually perhaps maybe the easier part sometimes is finding the good opportunity, but being disciplined, not trading outside of our means, really thinking about giving ourselves some room for error. So maybe we're really sure something might happen, but sometimes alternate factors or it rains unexpectedly. So again, just structuring all these things and thinking about them and making sure that whatever you're investing in, you're giving yourself some room for error and doing it in a way that you don't have to live in a frantic manner that really detracts from the whole goal. So that said, we're going to leave the folks here at B-Man and Teriyaki. I'm going to eat my dinner, but I hope this was helpful. Leave your comments below, and we'll see you somewhere in California again tomorrow.